Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, Headmistress of the Budo Ninjutsu, and today I am going to take a question here, which is a very touchy question. In the ninjutsu community, this is a touchy one. The question is ninjutsu a martial art? Before I actually get into this question, I want you guys to know that if you was to ask this question to anybody else in the martial art community that does not have any type of ninjutsu curriculum within their school, whether it's karate, aikido, kendo, judo, iaido, everybody would say, yes, ninjutsu is a martial art. It's not what we do. It's in martial art magazines. It's in Black Belt magazine, which we know is a martial art magazine. To go against the common thought that ninjutsu is a martial art, it's tough, But in the ninja community, answering that question, is ninjutsu a martial art, that becomes a very highly debated question. You guys know that I believe ninjutsu is a martial art, right? I understand there are people that believe that ninjutsu is not a martial art. This video is to not knock anybody on this side at all. Everyone has the right to believe what they want to believe. What other people believe, what people other people's opinions are, has absolutely nothing to do with the way that I run my school, the way that I teach my students, or the way that I live my life. So just because someone else doesn't believe in this, or someone else's opinions are this, or someone else's actions are this, as the headmistress of this school, as a Soke and founder of the Budo, I do not let other people's opinions and beliefs fall into my decision making as to what I do with my teaching, okay? So anyone who follows me knows this. I believe that ninjutsu is a martial art. I do. If we have two different opinions about what the word martial art means, then clearly we're gonna be at a disagreement. Let's look at the word ninjutsu, okay? Ninjutsu itself. Ninjutsu, nin means endurance or stealth or concealment, and jutsu means art or technique. So the kanji jutsu in iaijutsu and kenjutsu and jujutsu, right, is the same jutsu in kanji that's written in ninjutsu. So it means the same thing. It means art or technique. Just like you would say, I'm going to the dojo to study iaijutsu, I'm going to the dojo to study kenjutsu, I'm going to the dojo to study jujutsu, I'm going to the dojo to study ninjutsu. The way that you use it in a sentence is the same. The word jutsu in ninjutsu is the same, whether it's kenjutsu, iaijutsu, jujutsu, etc., etc. So this is what it means. It means art, okay? First of all, martial art is the word martial art. When I say, do you want to study martial arts? I'm speaking in English. I'm using an English word with an English meaning, okay? I guess another argument could be, is Budo the same exact meaning as martial art? Now that would be a good one for people to argue, because that actually could be a very deep and very, very hard thing to discuss, because Budo and martial arts don't exactly mean the same thing, although a lot of people take them the same. Let's look at martial arts. The word martial art. Martial means of military or of soldier. That's what martial is. Martial law, military law, So martial means of military or of soldier. Art means a physical expression, a skilled expression of. That means you're putting more meaning behind it than what people see. If I take a piece of clay and I mold it into some sort of a statue, some people can do that just for the shits and giggles of it, and some people can do it as an art. Art itself is an expression through physical action. I feel the need to express myself in a certain way, so I dance. And that dance is the expression, or the artist inside of me expressing my meaning, okay? That's what art means. The people at calligraphy can be an art, You can find an art in damn near everything, okay? Video editing can be an art if the way that you do it, like people who make really kick-ass movies, that capture you and entertain you and bring you into the movie, like a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings type thing. Just the cinematography itself is an art form, and there are people who love that, So there's lots of different things that can be art. I kind of skipped around there. Let's come back to the real meaning here. Martial is of military, of soldier. Art is an expression through physical action. An expression of yourself through physical action. So martial art means a military expression through physical action, or a soldier expression through physical action. That is a martial art. So do I feel that ninjutsu is a military expression through a physical action? Yes. I do believe that the art of deception, the art of disguise, the art of guerrilla warfare, the art of stealth, I believe all of those things are techniques that the military and soldiers use when they go to war. I see ninjutsu as a martial art. So the people who... Now, one thing I've noticed online, one thing I've noticed with the two groups, that when they... Because people like to argue about this whole ninjutsu martial art and all this kind of stuff. It's freaking ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is just a stupid argument. You know, what one person thinks is art, another person don't. You know what I mean? So, you know, I could drive up the road here, and I can see that there's all these tin cans all welded together in some little shaped form or something, you know, and whoever welded these tin cans together in this, you know, this big shape, you know, they could say, that's the way I felt yesterday, and I expressed myself through welding these tin cans together in the shape of a, you know, amoeba, you know, something like that. So to them, they express themselves through physical action. Therefore, what they did was they presented a form of art that they had, okay? And they expressed that. And so to them, it's art. You know, some other people might drive by and say, why the hell did someone just weld all those damn tin cans together? So art itself is interpretive. What one person says is an art, another person will not think it's an art. So yes, there are people who study and believe that ninjutsu is an art form. It is a military expression that we do through physical action, whether it's through the learning the art of disguise, deception, camouflage, stealth, concealment. These are all things that we would practice physically to express ourselves through some form of military action or military study. The people who say that ninjutsu is a martial art are martial artists by definition. Take ninjutsu out. They do other martial arts. The people who say that ninjutsu is not a martial art are typically not martial artists. They don't go to a dojo, they don't have a dedication to a sensei or a master, and they don't study the way. They don't study Budo. So typically, not all the time, because again, everyone has different opinions, so I'm not saying that's always the case, but typically the people who say ninjutsu is not a martial art, they don't go to a dojo, you know, 4 or 5 times a week and study under a master. They typically don't. They study with martial arts on their own through videos that they buy or YouTube or something like that. But the people who say ninjutsu is a martial art, they study Budo. They study hand-to-hand combat. They study swordsmanship. They study spearmanship. They study strategy. They have all these things, and ninjutsu is part of that. So to say that ninjutsu is not a martial art, this side is ninjutsu strategy, and you need to have that. That's part of military training. Obviously, the people watching this video is probably Budo students, and they want to know what is Sensei's, you know, what is Anshu's opinion, what does Anshu think? Ninjutsu is a martial art, no question. I've already explained to you what martial is, what art is. I put them together. I explained to you what a martial art is. I explained to you what ninjutsu is. I explained to you how ninjutsu can be used in a sentence. I explained to you what jutsu is, and I explained to you that the kanji for jutsu is the same kanji, art or technique that's found in kenjutsu, iaijutsu, jujutsu, etc., etc. When it comes down to it, when we really get down to the rock bottom, this group that says ninjutsu is not a martial art, and this group that says ninjutsu is a martial art, this group has classified and deemed all martial arts as hand-to-hand combat. They say if you got your fists up, put your dukes up, that's a martial art. This group over here that says ninjutsu is not a martial art. Martial arts are hand-to-hand combat. Me fight you, I have a sword, you have a sword. There's 2 people and they're fighting each other, okay? The people that say that, again, normally don't go to the dojo 4 or 5 times a week. They don't study with a master. They don't. Now, they all claim that they have. They all claim that they have, okay? But more than likely they have not. Because anyone who goes to the dojo 4 or 5 times a week and they study Budo, they study the way, they understand that martial arts, Budo, whether it's karate, judo, aikido, kendo, iaido, Ninpo, taijutsu, whether it's anything, they understand that there's more to that art than just punching and kicking. There's an essence to it that can't be defined, that you only feel and you get through training. There's something more than just punching and kicking. And the people that understand that, they actually practice martial arts. They go to the dojo, they have a master. They bow in and they study and they practice the way. They live their life by the way. They look at a technique and they see that that technique is more than just punching and kicking. It's more than just a sword technique. You know, there's an essence to it that can't be described. And that's the art. That's the art, you know. And this group has it just deemed straight up, you know, if it's hand-to-hand fighting, it's martial arts. If it's not hand-to-hand fighting, it's not. So in that regard, do I think ninjutsu is a combative martial art? Meaning, you're in front of me, I'm in front of you, we put our dukes up and we're going to slug it out. You know, no, ninjutsu is not a combative martial art. It's a martial art of conflict in the shadows. It's a deception. It's disguise. It's behind the enemy lines. It's not conventional warfare. It's unconventional warfare. It's what it is. So it's not combative in the sense of jujutsu or iaijutsu or kenjutsu or anything like that. But ninjutsu is a martial art. It's the martial art of deception. The military has unconventional soldiers that fight behind the lines, the enemy lines, that use disguise and deception and impersonation. That is an art. That is an art form, you know. And there are people who are conventional soldiers, and they fight right in your face because they're good at it. You know, they'll stand right up to you face to face. They'll put their fists up, and there's an art form just looking you in the eye and whooping your ass. You know, the great thing about the Budo is we do both. School of the warrior way. We teach conventional warfare tactics. We don't have a problem looking you face to face and putting them up. We also study unconventional warfare tactics. We study military strategy. We study the internal arts as well as the external arts. And martial arts itself is a very complex thing to understand and have a discussion with, especially for the people who don't believe martial arts are anything more than hand-to-hand combat. It's like you're having a conversation with someone about religion who don't practice religion. I mean, when they say ninjutsu is not a martial art, well, okay, and they don't practice martial arts, and they have not dedicated their life to study under a master. It's no different than having an argument with someone about religion that don't go to church. You know? I mean, it's the same argument. You know? The person who wrote this to me is Ninjutsu a martial art. This was on Facebook, and this was definitely from a person who, when I click his little face to go over to his page, I'm not going to say his name, okay? I'm not going to say his name. But it's a fake account. Like, there's no face, and it says School of Hard Knocks, you know, kind of thing. So it's clearly, it's a bunk page, and they're just trying to get me to do something that's, would cause a rise in the ninjutsu community, you know? Everyone has the right to believe what they want. You know, if you believe in religion, great. If you don't believe in religion, that's fine too, you know? I choose to believe in a higher power. People believe in ninjutsu martial art, not a martial art. That's fine, you know. I don't care. There are people who don't believe in it, and they're allowed to live their life and have their opinions and have their beliefs and do the things that they want to do. Those people that believe ninjutsu is not a martial art are doing two things. I can promise you this. They're trying to sell you something, and they're reading it right out of a book. And that right there might piss off a lot of people, but it's honest. That's truth. To them, it's black and white. That's what it is. To the people over here that believe ninjutsu is a martial art, there's more to it than what's on a piece of paper. You know, this is a longer video than what I want it to be. I'm sorry. I'm going to end it now. Thank you guys for all your love and support. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll talk to all of you guys later, okay? Bye.